Bienvenidos a Desde Cero con Manuel. Welcome to Right from the Start. I'm your host, Manuel Longoria. And today on our show, we have special guests, my friends, my ex-boxers, my students, Juan and Angel Espinoza. Guys, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so what you guys been up to?
Starting family, getting work. Just about it. Pretty simple.
Yeah, but not Angel. Angel, you ain't started a family yet, have you?
Not yet. Not anytime soon, I hope.
None that he knows of. None that he knows
Not
of.
that I know.
Well, let's start right from the beginning. You guys are brothers,
Yes.
okay? I want to know where you guys were born, and I want to know about your family. So, Juan, where were you born, Juan?
Born right here in Bryan, Texas. Lived here for a couple years before moving back to Mexico for maybe about 5 or 6 years. Okay. Then from there we moved to California and right back home.
Same with you, Angel?
Yeah, I was born here in Bryan. I don't really remember much of Mexico because I was a little younger. He was younger than Juan, but
Well, see, that's a fact that I didn't know about you guys. I didn't know you guys moved back to Mexico.
Yeah.
How old were you at the time you moved back?
I remember when we got back to California. From the time up to getting to California, we were in Mexico, so I was probably seven or
years
8.
old.
Yeah.
See, aside from that, I didn't even know you lived in California.
Yeah, our youngest sister is actually born in California.
Really?
She's the only one that's born out of state, besides mine.
Monica.
Yeah, and our older sister's born in Mexico. The rest of us are here in Bryan.
Yeah. And your parents' names?
My father's name is Leonel Espinoza, and my mother's name is Rosaura Espinoza Juarez.
Okay. And brothers and sisters?
We have an older sister named Monica. She lives in Houston right now. She's born and raised in Jerez, mostly raised over here in the States. But Jerez, Zacatecas is where my parents are from.
From Zacatecas?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, like I mentioned at the start, you guys were in my boxing club, and you guys were students, right?
Yes, sir.
How was your time there at Longoria Boxing Club?
It was great. It actually, I'd say, life-changing compared to
That's a good way to put it.
peers that I've had that I grew up with, seeing that the path that they took, it kept us off the streets. It kept us disciplined with the right mind, and ultimately just gave us a lifelong lesson
Right.
of how to carry ourselves.
Was that the same for you, Angel? Because you started at a younger age.
Yeah, I remember I was in 3rd grade when I first initially started going with you guys.
That's pretty young.
Yeah, 3rd grade. It was,
He looks 30 now.
stop, man. Not here.
So
It was
Yeah,
about the
you-
same experience.
yeah,
though.
you guys were there probably the duration of Longoria Boxing Club. Because towards the end, you guys would show up and work out a few days, but you guys started working. You guys graduated high school and started working and doing all that. So I know, Angel, you're going to college right now while you work, right?
Yeah, I'm
What is your goals?
well, I'm a full-time student at Blinn. I'm studying to be I want to be a state trooper eventually, and
State
then
trooper?
just see where I move on from there.
Okay. What about you, Juan?
Currently, just working to pay bills, but eventually I want to end up opening my own business.
All right. What kind of business you looking to do?
I'm either looking into the food industry as baking.
Right, because you were a chef, right? You were a cook
Yeah.
at various restaurants, right?
Yeah.
Is that something that you love?
It's I would say, yeah, it's a whole different world that I
Right.
jump into.
Yeah, because I remember you gave me a couple of caps of, I don't know, a couple of restaurants that you worked at.
Yeah.
So-
Been a little bit here, a little bit there, but in total, been about 5 or 6 years in the industry, and was a chef for about three of those years.
So let's get into that conversation that I wanted to get with you guys, because I find it interesting, about and I see them everywhere. These trucks that are all hyped up and all. People put a lot of money into them and they lower them and all that. What is that called? Trokiando?
Trokiando.
Yeah, from Trokiando too.
How did you guys start doing all that, and why do people like that?
It's a long story.
Yeah, I mean, personally for me, it all started off with buying some new tail lights for my truck.
So you start buying taillights and then you kind of get addicted to it.
Yeah,
to
you're
buying
like,
stuff for your truck and stereos and all that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you see the influence from everybody else, but you also get a general idea of what you want the truck to look like. Not in a common sense, but more of how does it represent me?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a long history of these vehicles being modified and whatnot. Because back in our day, we had the lowriders,
Yeah.
and here in Bryan, Texas, there were a few cars that were pretty awesome. I know Ross Rodriguez had one. It's probably my favorite one, and there were there were car clubs and
Yeah.
and there were and everybody who was into that. They kind of dedicated themselves to that life, to the car life, and
Yeah.
and back in the day it was lowriders, but nowadays it's younger kids, right? And it's a culture,
Yeah.
and it's about music, and it's about hairstyles, and it's about all that, right?
Yeah.
So when or how do you think that got started?
So going back to the lowriders, I know that started becoming a big thing in Texas around the 60s.
Right.
And from there, I mean, you kind of tell that people just put their love and passion into their vehicle. And I think from our generation, whether it's like the late millennials, the Gen Zs, or whatnot, especially as Hispanics, we grew up seeing our dads use these trucks constantly. It's all around us.
Right.
And eventually, I mean, the truck gets passed down.
Right.
And from there, again, it's just a representation of yourself. Starting off with some taillights, but again, how does this represent me? How can I make a statement with this?
Right.
But
At what age do you start, say, getting into vehicles, modifying your truck or buying stuff for your truck and all that? At what age was that?
I started with my first truck at was it 16? Yeah.
Were you working by then?
I was, yeah. While I was going to school, I also worked at Taco Bell, Wiener Schnitzel, and Graham's all at the same time.
I remember that. You guys were bodyguards.
Yeah,
Not bodyguards. You guys were security.
Yeah, so a good percentage of the boxing team was the
right.
security.
So yeah, I didn't know about this until later on, but it was like 5 or 6 guys from the boxing club, Longoria Boxing Club, ended up being security people at these dances, right?
Let's just say we got the violence under control.
Yeah,
Yeah. When I found out, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna come see me.
Who's one?
So you started around age 16, and what kind of stuff were you into? What kind of stuff did you want to buy for your truck, or where did you see your vehicle ending up? Because you don't stop, right? Once you start modifying your trucks and you start painting them, and then you want to lower them, then you want to pick them up, then you want to buy rims, then you want to buy tires. It
Not
never
exactly
ends,
in that
right?
order. Not exactly in that order.
Well, what people do nowadays, and I believe it's been done for a while, is that they'll change the look every season. It's for the winter they'll put their cars away or their trucks, and then starting the new year, a new look.
Wow.
Just to keep things fresh, to keep people on their toes.
Right.
But I would say the vision is never ending, because you get to the point that you originally wanted to get to, and then you're like, okay, but what if I did this to it?
Right.
And what if I did this or changed this or went this route?
Well, it's a hobby.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a hobby. Collectors are hobbyists. When I started collecting baseball cards, you never stop. It's the same thing. Every year you get new ones. Every year you get new parts. You get new systems or
Whatever
new
it may
stuff
be.
comes up, right? So, Angel, when do you start getting into Trokiando?
Ever since my first truck was Juan's last, I think. Yeah, he passed.
My last
So you passed it on to him?
he
Did you
passed-
sell it to him, or did you pass it on?
passed it on.
All right, good.
Yeah, passed down this white 2002 Silverado. Ended up, trokeando with it.
Right.
Lowered it, put different rims on it, sound system. It was a pretty nice truck. But I eventually ended up T-boning some white girl. She ran a yield sign. ended that project
So
pretty quick.
that project was at a halt.
It ended that project pretty quick.
So
yeah.
did you get a different vehicle after that, and you started you restarted the project?
Yeah, after
What kind of vehicle did you get?
After that, I got a single cab, pretty sought after, I would say.
Right.
Most people, prefer different things, but
In the trucking community, single cabs are
single
kind
cabs
of like Porsches.
Yeah,
Well, just like the one I gave Alex, right?
just like the one you gave Alex.
That's a nice truck,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't mess with it though. We keep
It has a lot of potential.
We're trying. we're trying to keep it original. So
I got a link for some taillights.
Yeah, right.
I have a 2004 single cab Silverado that is owned by Alex now.
Alex Longoria.
And when I bought that truck, Alex was 2 years old.
Wow.
So that's how long it's lasted, and it still runs pretty good.
Yeah,
You still have to change your plugs and the oil. You do maintenance and and all the water pipes and what do you
the hoses.
The hoses.
The hose, man.
I mean, it's like with anything else. You take care of it, it lasts a lifetime.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's something that we've done. We've always changed the oil on the trucks and everything. So
Keep them running.
So what kind of vehicle do you have that you're working on? Are you working on a current project?
Yeah, but not a truck.
What is it?
So currently I have a 2020 Chrysler 300.
You switch teams.
Yeah. Switch teams, but I'm still Tacuache at heart. So currently, I mean, I've got most of the cosmetics out the way, but my next goal is to put it on an airbag system.
All right. So, Angel, what is your main goal as far as vehicles, as far as a truck, as far as your project? What do you want to see, or what do you want to do, or what do you want to buy?
I want a C6 Corvette.
I think everybody wants that.
Yeah. I was gonna sell my truck to use as a down payment to get one, but I'm in school right now. I'm paying out of pocket for my tuition and everything, so not the best decision to do right now.
Well, how long do you have left for school?
I'm currently almost 2 years in, and I'm trying to. Once I complete that, I want to transfer over to a 4-year university, get my bachelor's degree, be able to move up after I become state trooper, hopefully.
Okay.
So another 2-3 years probably before I could upgrade.
Right. So, Juan, what do you want to end up doing? I mean, what is your end goal for Trokiando? I mean, do you want to have one of those 2023s and then modify it, or just old trucks all the time?
Old trucks.
Old truck is the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a certain beauty with it. You know, I mean, anybody can drive around in a 2024 Silverado, but if you get a nice C10, you know?
Right. What year?
Good, maybe 78, 80s, really good year.
Yeah, I'd say 70s.
What's the most popular truck to modify?
The Silverado.
The Silverado.
Silverado, what year?
Probably like a 2005
early
crew
2000s.
cab.
like the one Alex has?
Yeah.
That front end is very common.
So it's the 90s Silverados, the OBSs, old body style, and then you got the NBSs, which would be like Alex's truck.
02.
You know, those are probably the most modified. You know, you got all the way from the Silverado to the Tahoes to the Escalades,
Astros,
well, yeah, that's right.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay. When I started noticing, this I guess Trokiando trend. El college kid. Just trend.
Statistics, man.
The trend was when it had to do with music, right?
Yeah.
Porque salió, what was that song? Mi Troquita, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one. That song, when that song came out, I started to notice a lot more.
Yeah.
I'll say kids because they were all kids who I would see, driving around these trucks, and they were, quemando llanta and all this. Because at the time we were at our boxing club was downtown.
Yeah.
And we were outside, and everybody would pass by there, and
the occasional tacuache.
Yeah, they would just pass by and with blasting with cumbia, and I think those two kind of mixed in together, and kind of made a trend, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that's the case? Do you think that music helped us push this thing a little higher?
Definitely. I mean, you got a lot of artists these days that are, with that lifestyle. Like you got the most, in my opinion, the most famous one out of Houston is On the Gas.
Yeah.
El Seis.
El Seis.
Yeah.
Made a song with this YouTube channel called On the Gas. They do a lot of videos with trucks, modifying them, racing. That probably, I remember that song came out when I was in high school, probably.
What song was that? Do you remember?
It's called On the Gas. Yeah.
On the Gas is called?
The name of the YouTube channel.
Okay. And then what was the artist?
His name is El Seis.
El Seis.
Yeah.
And he's still doing it?
Yeah.
I haven't kept up with his music.
But he's still
He's still
doing
in the truck life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get him on the podcast.
I think he's
That'd
out
be
of Houston. Yeah.
We'll bring him down here for you.
Yeah, bring him down. We want to talk more about this,
That'd be
right?
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I noticed that. I noticed and what happened is since it was cumbia, it helped because I'm a musician. Right? I play with Tamitex. We play cumbia.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of lifted all our music up, not just that. So now you got Frontera and you got all these guys who started because of that style, and Trokiando and that music kind of met up and it kind of went up, right?
Yeah. And
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good for me too. So a little more gigs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was pretty awesome. So what else do you want to add to that conversation?
I mean, I would say although it is a trend,
It's more of a culture,
more of a culture, more of a statement.
Right. Lifestyle.
lifestyle.
Right.
Because I mean, you see these kids troqueando and whatnot. They're burning tires. They're racing. They're confident.
Right.
And I think it really stems off of how we've seen our parents, live throughout the years. How they've been, especially if they're straight from Mexico, how they've been treated, how they had to work, how they always had to be on the hush.
Right.
Not be able to speak their minds. Versus this generation, now you
guys are living loud.
we're living loud. It's like
Right.
the way that we wanted our parents to be.
Right.
We're not
Not
gonna shut up. We're not gonna do any of that.
Right.
Because-
So you guys are first generation Americans, right?
Mhm.
That I was first generation Americans, and that's what happens is when you first arrive here as a first generation American, your parents, all they do is work,
Mhm.
right? And I didn't want that for my kid, So they have more liberty. They have more space to do their thing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, with us, we were limited,
Mhm.
So now they don't get to do what they want, but they have options,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess I see where you're coming from with all that,
More freedom.
Yeah, you're free. They can live out loud now, what I
Yeah.
mean? So that was pretty interesting, man.
Yeah. Thank you. And I mean, like it's only gonna get bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you see it. There's 16, 17-year-old kids.
As they get more money,
Yeah. As I give more money, they're gonna pass it down to their siblings, like I did with Angel. And how I got it from my older brother. And then I mean,
Yeah, Leo. You have an
Leo.
older brother, Leo, and he's a mechanic, right?
Yeah.
he's a heavy diesel mechanic.
Right, heavy diesel mechanic. Where's he at? Is he in Waco or is he here?
He's here. He currently works for LSP Transport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's say hi to Leo. ¿Cuántos Leos? Leo was also a member of the boxing club.
Yes, he was.
I think it was you two first, and then Angel came in.
Yeah.
Right.
I would hide in the back of the truck.
So
Try not
yeah,
to get out.
there were a couple of kids at the gym that stopped showing up because the entrance of the boxing club, there was a dip,
Yeah.
and their trucks would hit.
Mm-hmm.
So they stopped showing up because their truck wouldn't go into the driveway.
Dude.
So that was
You're talking about
awesome.
the one downtown?
Yeah, the one downtown. I can't remember his name. So, but that was pretty funny.
That is funny.
So
I mean, you got in there with the white truck, and that
Yeah.
one was lowered.
yeah,
It wasn't too low, but it was a struggle to get up.
yeah. So let me ask you this: Juan? What kind of movies do you like?
Currently, I'm all about like action movies, action and comedy.
Comedy?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite comedy movie?
It's gonna sound a little generic, but I like Ted.
I mean, it's a classic, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are called cult classics.
Classic,
You know,
yeah.
How about you, Angel?
I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat, like old cult classics, like Super Bad, Pineapple Express, even like just funny movies you can just sit back and relax and watch.
Right. What about what kind of action movies do you like?
Currently the Marvel movies.
I think those are the only ones that excite people these days,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Very
they're a little
mainstream.
different. I mean, I feel like a lot of the movies that have been coming out lately, well, not lately, but in the past, are kind of repetitive.
Right.
You kind of already guess the ending by the time.
Yeah, they don't make sense. I went to go see the Meg, the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just didn't do it.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch Sharknado.
Just jump into conclusions to get to their end goal.
Yeah, it's and I try to sit down and watch Netflix and watch movies, and they're
not appealing.
they're just bad.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get to see these Marvel movies and even Star Wars movies,
Star Wars.
I get into stuff like that, and they all start doing their own little shows on Disney, and all that.
Yeah.
So I kind of follow that as well. So what are the kind of music do you listen to?
A lot. I listen to a lot of
Do you
different
listen to Spanish and English, or just Spanish?
Spanish and English.
Right.
I have a wide variety of music I listen to. Like, I have a bunch of different playlists. Some of them could be, like the Trokiando stuff, Esteban Gabriel, Peso Pluma. But, my English playlist probably like Brent Fires, give you a lot of generic stuff. Probably.
What do y'all think about Peso Pluma and all that style? When they first came out, a lot of people criticized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I like that music.
Yeah.
I really do.
I like the stuff that's coming out right now. Not his earlier stuff is okay, but the stuff that's coming out right now is pretty good.
Right.
I mean, personally, I'm not really a fan. It's not like any hate towards him because I mean,
Right. It's
he's
just not.
accomplished
It's not your style.
Not my
is it?
style.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I mean, I feel like it's a little generic. You had Peso Pluma before him. You had Nata Elcano,
Yeah.
and pretty much the same thing. I feel like, but I mean, no hate to the guy. I mean, he's done a lot. What did he?
He used to be a soccer player.
He used to be a soccer player, but what award ceremony did he get to go to?
Grammys.
Grammys, right?
Yeah.
The Latin Grammys. Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the first, right?
Right.
Yeah. So.
And he was the number one artist in the world.
Yeah.
For a couple of weeks, so that helped our music as well. So I can't
Can't knock him down.
knock him down
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
well, you can't knock him. I like his music. So
Yeah.
you can't knock it down. Right.
Yeah, I mean, like.
So
like I
what
said,
do you listen to then? I mean, what's in there? What's in that headphones?
I mean, just like Angel, I'll switch genres. So I'll listen to classic rap, gangster rap, corridos.
But you got to have a number one though.
Number one.
That's my number one right there.
Well, according to Spotify, for the unwrapping thing that they did,
Spotify rap.
my number one is this guy called that Mexican OT. Yeah,
You heard of him?
No.
No.
What's it called?
that Mexican OT.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'll look him up.
He blew up a couple months ago.
Couple months
Where's
ago.
he from?
He's from Houston too.
Okay.
Baytown.
Yeah,
Well,
Baytown.
maybe we can get him on a podcast and talk to him.
I mean, we got
see what he's
him. We got Bo Bundy. He's also from Houston.
Okay.
But when I like to slow things down, I like to listen to Kevin Carl.
Mhm.
He's really good. He sings in Spanish.
Pretty relaxing music.
All right. So let me ask you this: what are you guys driving now? Is it that Cadillac that you said?
No, the Chrysler.
Oh, Chrysler.
Yeah.
Is it that black Chrysler?
Mm-hmm.
I got to mention that I work with these guys.
Yeah.
So I went back to a job doing engineering, and these guys are at the shop. You're a machinist,
Yeah.
and Angel works the shop, and he goes to college. So I'm always happy to see you guys because you guys were always happy people. You're good kids. You were always good kids, always helping out, and that comes from good parents.
Yeah.
Right.
Appreciate that.
So it's not every day that I get to say that about people because a lot of people aren't the same.
I mean, you've been a pretty influential figure for us too. So we can say the feeling's mutual.
So thank you, but you know, every time my wife sees you guys or something, and you know, hey, I saw Angel and Juan or something. You know, there's always a smile because you guys put smiles on people's faces, and you guys are pretty awesome.
Thank you.
So it's been a real pleasure knowing you guys, and I wish y'all all the luck in the world.
Thank you.
So
I do appreciate that, man.
anything you want to add to the podcast? Anything you guys want to ask me? Was I a mean coach to y'all guys? Was I hard on you?
Nah, it was great. I mean, I often look back and try to find because if you remember, I always had Angel recording my sparring matches.
Yeah. One thing about these guys is they love to spar. It was every day they wanted to spar.
Mostly him.
So, but yeah, Leo didn't spar a lot, did he?
He did at first, but then he started getting into the whole life scene, looking into his future and things like that. So he kind of stepped out and stopped sparring as much, and then just ended up just not being able to show up to the gym anymore. But yeah, I try to get him in the ring as much as I could, or try to train him as much as I could to get in there. I was like, if you can fight me, you can fight anybody.
I remember this funny story. Do you remember Napoleon?
Oh, always.
Yeah.
Before you get going, I didn't know that his name was not Napoleon.
Jose.
Yeah.
For about 10 years,
dude.
Hey, Napoleon.
Napoleon is, and then we still call him Napoleon.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
His real name is Jose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody nicknamed him Napoleon, and since he was little, so
that's how I met him.
About a few years ago, I found out that his name was not Napoleon.
Yeah.
So
and he's actually a junior. His dad's name is Jose too.
Yeah. So that's pretty funny. So what was this story about Napoleon?
Well, I remember him and Napoleon were sparring a little bit. Then he stepped out, and we decided that I should get in the ring with Napoleon. And we went for a while. And I got tired pretty quick. He's a smaller, faster guy.
He was fast.
Yeah.
And at the end of the match, I was exhausted, man. Then I take off my ankle weights.
So you forgot you had your ankle weights on?
Sparred like 4 rounds with ankle weights on.
They were like 5 pounds a piece, no?
Yeah, they're like they were heavy.
Yeah.
I got exhausted.
So, all right, guys. Anything you want to add to the podcast?
I mean, I would say everybody hit that subscribe button.
Definitely.
Start keeping up.
What about you, Ain't? Should they hit the subscribe button?
I think they should hit it.
And the share button.
Yeah, subscribe.
Yeah.
Go,
anything with an S.
Get on your mom's phone, hit the subscribe button.
Yeah.
Show support.
Steal your wife's phone or your husband's phone and just
hit the subscribe.
Desde Cero.
Yeah, go into the iPhone store and subscribe to with all the
everything,
phones.
Everything.
Get into hacking.
You guys want to send shout outs all the way by Zacatecas? Who you was? Well, when I posted this thing on Facebook, you guys got a lot of likes on this thing.
Yeah, we got a lot of cousins.
Yeah. Send a shout out to everybody out there.
Yeah.
Espinoza, Juarez, Mireles family.
Yeah. Shout out to los Espinoza, los Juarez, los Mireles. How many other last names do we have?
Those 3. How many more?
And I mean, just shout out to Brian College Station.
Yeah.
Right.
This sort of they have people with heart of gold.
From the ground up.
Yeah.
From the ground. Desde Cero.
Desde Cero.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Well, that's been 30 minutes we've been on here.
I feel like it's been like 12.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, what this is this a conversation?
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's not an interview, and I like to have conversations with people that I like and people that I know, and people that got a little story to tell. And again, I want to bring you guys in because you guys were in my boxing club and you guys are into Trokiando and I just want to have a little conversation with you guys and let people know who you are. And when you see them in the streets, give them a big hug.
Just don't do it by surprise, please.
All right, guys. Well, you guys that's it for the podcast, and I want to appreciate you guys for being here, and thank y'all for coming.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate
you for having us.
So again, please subscribe to Desde Cero con Manuel, and keep supporting the channel and keep us going, and we'll have more guests, and you guys have a Merry Christmas.
You too, man.
Likewise, Merry
All right, we'll see y'all later, and thank y'all for watching.
Bye.
Adios.